There are certain games that come to define players in football. Take Gareth Bale's storming hat-trick at the San Siro, or Steven Gerrard's one-man show in the 2006 FA Cup final. Those in attendance at the Aviva Stadium on Tuesday night witnessed one of those games. Unfortunately for them, it wasn't for one of their boys in green. It was for Christian Eriksen. The Dane was unstoppable, bagging a hat-trick as the Scandinavians clinched a place in next summer's World Cup with an emphatic 51 thumping of Ireland. It wasn't just the fact that Eriksen scored 3 times, but the way in which he scored 3 times. Every finish was better than the last. It underlined the level at which the Spurs playmaker is operating at right now. Yet Tuesday night came as something of a surprise to many. They knew Eriksen was good, but perhaps they weren't quite aware of just how good. Those who have had the 25-year-old at Wembley this season weren't surprised. Read more Pochettino, I would not swap Spurs' progress for Arsenal's trophies. Read more who makes our combined Arsenal-Tottenham 11. Read more 8 players free to agree moves in January 2018. Eriksen is undervalued as a true force of nature. Harry Kane and Dele Alli might hog the headlines, making a more obvious contribution in the final third, but as a team Spurs are reliant on their Great Dane. Frequently heralded for his passing ability, Eriksen is much more than just a midfield dynamo. He is an irrepressible hub of attacking activity, as Ireland found out for themselves. To pigeonhole him would be to ignore how many different aspects there are to his game. Christian Eriksen has been brilliant for Spurs this season, and scored against Real Madrid in the Champions League. In fact, there's a valid claim to be made that Eriksen is currently the most undervalued player in the European game. Denmark manager Age Harried expressed his view to that effect after the playmaker's performance against Ireland, ranking him as one of the 10 best players in the game. It's difficult to rank, but we saw in Tottenham's Champions League matches against Real Madrid he is probably one of the best players in his position in Europe at the moment, said Harried. Ronaldo, Messi and some strikers are playing as forwards. Christian is more a wide man or a central midfield player. He has this capability of scoring goals, making assists, finding space, so, definitely top 10. Spurs teammate Eric Dier was also quick to highlight the quality of Eriksen ahead of Saturday's North London derby. It's great for Tottenham that Eriksen's continuing to excel. We're seeing the best Christian Eriksen we've ever seen at the moment. Hope he can keep going. Indeed, this Saturday's game at the Emirates Stadium presents Eriksen with another opportunity to underline how, as Dier says, he currently is at the peak of his powers. Maybe then the European elite will recognize his level. Maybe then he'll be valued at €150 million. Why are Barcelona so intent on moving for Philippe Coutinho when Eriksen would appear to be a much better fit? And maybe even a better player? Of course, it's to Spurs' benefit that Eriksen still seems to be flying under the radar somewhat, but that might change should the Dane turn in a few more displays than the one he put on in Dublin. While his performance against Ireland undoubtedly caught the eye and the imagination, there is still a sense that Eriksen's greatest achievement is still to come. Mauricio Pochettino has forged Spurs into domestic and continental challengers, with Eriksen key to that development. Maybe it's in the pursuit of silverware, something he has yet to get his hands on in England, that the Dane will be truly defined as a Spurs great. Eriksen's brilliance took Denmark to the World Cup. Where will it take Spurs?